You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere.
It's a special Halloween edition of Mornings with Pat Kreitlow, powered by Up North News. Live from the haunted Lake Wissota studio, here's your ghost host, Pat Kreitlow.
Parker, are you responsible for that?
No, I'm only responsible for playing it.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's fine. You're off. Sorry, let me get my proper Halloween costume on. That would be the baseball cap here that says last minute costume on it with a bat and a pumpkin and a few other things. Boo!
Wow.
Hey, everybody. Nice to have you along on this Friday, Halloween morning. It's a wait. Let me get in the spirit here. It's a spooky morning to have you here up north, live from Minnesota. There we go. The dramatic effect from wherever you're listening across the Civic Media Radio Network or all the other ways that you found your way here. Thanks for getting your Halloween started. Got a question for you. Can you tell that, Parker, that I have the scariest Halloween costume on possible right now? That's right. I'm dressed up as a Brewers fan.
Oh, God.
I didn't. I know. I am the ghost of the League Championship Series past.
I hate it.
Trade your Halloween bats for bats that have gone silent. There. I've scared myself. That's it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hey, join us along the way. Give us your idea of a much better costume than this. 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. Though, I mean, to be fair, I gave it an effort. Parker over here is dressed as a mild-mannered, young man in his 20s who has an early morning job in a broom closet at a major market radio station. Yeah, that's you. That's you.
Yeah. Every time that we say it's a broom closet, I just have to look around and go, yep, it is.
Hey.
With a curtain for some reason.
I like the curtain there because it prevents you from seeing some of the other items in the broom closet. But as somebody who has worked in many a broom closet in my day, working my way up the broadcast ladder of excellence, I'm here to tell you the next closet will be bigger, Mr. Olson. It will, I promise.
I sure hope so.
Right. Let's see what's coming up on the program today. We're going to talk to Courier Newsroom's Kia Vakil, our national political editor. There are elections 1 year from next week, 1 year from Tuesday here in Wisconsin. But next Tuesday, there also will be actual elections in several states. It could be a real barometer of things to come. And so we will talk to Kia about that in just a little bit. Of course, Greg Bach will be here after that for our Friday history lesson. And later on in the program, we'll have Chicago radio legend Joan Esposito joining our Week in Review panel. And in our 8 o'clock hour, Kristen Lyerly will be joined by Emily Cephos, a candidate for state senate in the Fox Valley. So all that and more coming up along the way today. It is another cold morning around the state. 28 right now in Black River Falls and in Superior. La Crosse is at 36. Chippewa Falls here is at 37 degrees. Wausau is over at 34 right now. Let's see. So the number again, 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. And Cindy is on the line from Appleton to tell us about a costume. Cindy, good morning.
Well, I'm going to beat your scarier Brewers costume.
Uh-oh.
I'm dressed up like a Trump supporter.
No. See, we need shrieks of horror to guide that and some organ music. You did it, Cindy. I mean, you're wearing the red hat, I suppose.
Not really. I'm just, just pretending.
Oh, God. I feel so much better for you, Cindy. Cindy, thank you for calling. Happy Halloween, and don't ever scare me like that again. I'm not that young anymore. All right.
Okay,
We'll
me
see
either.
you later. And then we've got Alicia who says, I'm dressed up as a blue collar worker. Yeah, Alicia, I know. It's the same costume every day, and it is appreciated. Trust me. Let's see. What else have we got here? Oh, Jim from Brookfield's putting in a little something here, so we'll see what he's got in just a bit. And we'll also, continue to take your calls on what you're giving out, and what other costumes you've had. I had to take some photos of our neighborhood costume party, and we held that yesterday at just down the street here. And we've got couples. One of them dressed up in the "I Dream of Jeannie" costume, and her husband dressed up as Major Nelson from "I Dream of Jeannie." I mean, they looked great. Another couple dressed up as the pair from the painting American Gothic. You know, the farmer holding the pitchfork, and they totally nailed that one. Let's see. Somebody else had. Oh, yeah, we had some folks with their. They could still fit into their high school leather jacket and cheerleader outfit in their elderly years, which was pretty impressive, let me tell you. And we had some folks who had pom poms, and on their shirts it said "Go Ceilings" because they were fans, ceiling fans. All right, they can't all be winners. Let's see. Jim from Brookfield might be on the line to talk about his daughter's costume. Jim, you there?
Yes, good morning, Pat. Good morning, Aaron. Yes, I just want to let you know that my daughter, she lives out in D.C., works right near the Capitol, but she and her friend are going to a costume party tonight out near the Capitol, and they're going to go as the Louvre burglars. And a pair of Louvre burglars are the individuals who stole all that jewelry. Yeah. So earlier this week, my wife and I put a bunch of costume jewelry and some of her things in a box and shipped it out to her. But we have like a crown and some jewelry or whatnot. But she's going to go as one of the Louvre burglars and wear one of the safety vests with all the jewelry.
I love that. That's perfect. I love the attention that goes into that. And you were essentially an accessory to the accessories in sending that out to there. So good on you.
Well, thank you.
I hope that doesn't get you in trouble with the law for aiding and abetting a burglar like that. But thank you. Are you going out and about yourself?
I'll be home with a fire out in front and a skeleton out there, and we'll be handing out candy most of the night. Because in Brookfield, it is on Halloween. It goes from 5 to 7:30.
5 to 7:30, and what are you handing out?
Snickers and, of course, the classic Reese's peanut butter cups and
Absolutely.
Some little. Yeah, I mean, you have to hand out the Reese's, so and some hard candy. So,
do you get the candy that you want? Like when it's left over, you're going to enjoy the leftovers, or do you purposely buy something you're not fond of and you try to give it all away?
The former. We'll buy something that we'll finish. Be more than happy to finish over time if it's not completely handed out, and it ebbs and flows. Usually there's a little left, but last year and even the year with the snowstorm, everything went. So it kind of ebbs and flows. We're thinking a full crowd this year.
Oh, I'll bet you will. And I've got my 50-gallon drum of Kit Kats here, and if I don't give them all away, well, I'll have to enjoy them. That's just fine. Jim, thank you very much for the call. I appreciate it. Have a good start to the weekend.
You as well. Thank you, Pat.
All right, take care. And let's see, also from Alicia, one I remember is when I was a ballerina with a snowsuit underneath because we had a snowstorm. What year was that? 1990? Nope. I think you're thinking of the Halloween blizzard of 1991 when we tried to take our youngins out. They were 1 year. That one had just turned 1 year old and the other had just turned 3 years old. And tried the costumes, but had to, put the snowsuit over it essentially because they said, well, there's a chance of snow on Halloween. And it was coming down the biggest, fattest flakes, and the wind was howling in a fashion that was appropriate to Halloween. And we thought, okay, well, this is spooky. This is actual snow coming down hard on Halloween, having no idea we were going to get 30 inches we were.
I love, because Halloween, you typically get some interesting costumes.
Mm-hmm.
I really love the idea of a guy like dressed up as a surfer dude or something like that, and just snowflakes in the hair.
Yep. It would not have worked out. So you wanted to dress like a snowboarder that year.
There you
anything.
Go. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. So keep those ideas coming in through the text line or make a phone call. Put something in the comment section of Facebook or YouTube, and give us all some more costume ideas. Here's the other reason you need the costume ideas, not just for last minute things for tonight, but for next year, because tonight it's on a Friday night. Next year it will be on a Saturday. So there you go. Alicia followed up on the Halloween blizzard. There's a photo somewhere of me next to a jack-o'-lantern and a pile of snow. Yes, I'm really glad that we're not seeing that coming up here and now. In the news on this Friday, this is unfortunate and this is amazingly unnecessary. But in Wisconsin, the first 2 Head Start programs are going to be shutting down because of the Republicans shutting down the government. And that means hundreds of kids and a few dozen childcare providers will be hurt. And this is only the first domino of others that could fall. Because Head Start programs, which provide early childhood education, childcare, health, nutrition, parent involvement services to lower income families, Head Start operates on a federal grant that is given out annually. And these first 2 Head Start programs have grants that are supposed to come down November 1st. And because of the shutdown, that's not happening. So they have to close their doors. One is the Southwestern Wisconsin Community Action Program. It will close its 9 Head Start classrooms next week. That'll affect 114 children in Richland, Greene, Grant, Lafayette, and Iowa counties, and 34 staff who will get no paychecks while this is going on. Also, the Sheboygan Human Rights Association will close its Head Start classrooms on November 14th. That'll impact 172 children in Sheboygan County and 48 staff who will go without paychecks. And not only those 172 children, but of course their parents who will suddenly not have the usual childcare option for them and are going to be left scrambling. Now, again, because these are federal grants done on an annual basis, those are the 2 in Wisconsin that were due to get their annual grant on November 1st. There are more coming. Governor Evers made this announcement yesterday about the first 2 and noted there are 3 more Head Start programs that are expecting a grant on December 1st, affecting more than 1,100 children. And on January 1st, 4 more programs affecting 1,250 children. Nationally, around 750,000 kids get educational and developmental services through Head Start. And Donald Trump and Derek Van Orden and Tom Tiffany and Tony Weed and Brian Stile and all the other congressional Republicans out there don't mind this one bit. They are happy to keep this shutdown going rather than negotiate with Democrats to avoid monster price hikes for health insurance. That's the weird thing about this. It's not like they're demanding anything where you'd go, oh, well, that seems reasonable. Let's try to meet halfway on this. No, the reason that they are refusing to negotiate with Democrats to get the votes they need to get the government reopened is they'd rather see health insurance costs go through the roof. And that's what's going to be happening tomorrow when the open enrollment period begins under the Affordable Care Act in the marketplace. There's going to be massive sticker shock. And I think a lot of those Republicans are going to be hearing from their constituents next week saying, what are we doing here? And in the meantime, everybody else that's suffering through the SNAP benefits and everything else that's happened to workers who aren't getting paychecks or having to work for the federal government without getting paid. That's all very scary in a non-Halloween kind of way. We'll talk more about the headlines with Courier Newsroom's Kia Vakil coming right up from the heart of America's up north, live from Lake Wissota. Thanks for this, the place to spend part of your mornings. I'm Pat Kreitlow. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're listening to Civic Media. Stay up to date on the latest news and information for your local community and Wisconsin by signing up for our free email newsletter. Visit civicmedia.us/email to get started.
Welcome back on this Friday morning. Time to check in with Courier Newsroom's national political editor, Kia Vakil. Kia, how are you?
I'm all right, Pat. Living one day at a time.
Well, of course, you're in Los Angeles. I mean, you're on pins and needles. The Dodgers are this close to blowing the World Series later tonight in Canada. I also know you're not worried one bit about that. Are you, Phillies fan?
No, not particularly, and I'm more watching the LAFC soccer team. So I'm one of the
That's
rare
right.
people who is not all that invested in the World Series, despite living in LA.
Let's start with next week rather than we'll get to the shutdown, of course, and other things. But there's some big things happening next week that I think we should preview here. It's not election day here. We'll be marking 1 year until the big 2026 elections for governor and Congress and legislature. But there are elections other places next Tuesday. What should we be looking for? You want to start with where you are in California?
Sure. So we have Prop 50 here in California, which is essentially a ballot measure asking voters to approve a new congressional map that would most likely see Democrats pick up another 5 seats. Of course, this is in response to Texas Republicans gerrymandering their map, which kicked off a whole saga that we now have like half a dozen states involved in. We have that across the country in New Jersey and Virginia. You have 2 governors' races and some legislative races. In New York, we obviously have the mayoral race. In Minneapolis, we have a mayoral race. We have state Supreme Court races in Pennsylvania. And then there's others in different spots all across the country as well.
It'll be interesting, though, to see what we learn in those, because during Donald Trump's first term, basically every special election, every midterm, everything like that was a setback, all leading to Trump losing his own reelection in 2020. This time around, I mean, he got reelected. He's got a base that is devoted to him, but we're really going to see a barometer of whether that base turns out in other elections next week.
Yeah, I mean, we are. And, this does feel slightly different than 2017. I do think we've already had a handful of specials this year where Democrats have overperformed, which is not surprising. The Democratic base now turns out more in these sorts of off years. But yeah, it'll be interesting. If Republicans win one of the governor's races in Virginia or New Jersey, that's a huge win. And frankly, like a huge choke job by the Democrats. And so it'll be very interesting to see what we learn. I think we can't look at any one election or race as like indicative of anything, but as a whole, yeah, I think there's going to be some signs under the hood of what we can expect going into next year.
All right. Certainly clouding all of this is what's happening with the government shutdown for as long as Republicans can keep the government shutdown and spread the pain around. And we've already talked about, the first 2 Head Start programs in Wisconsin that are likely going to have to cease operations. And of course, you see the stories from throughout the Courier Newsroom Network. And, Head Start is just the latest casualty, along with SNAP benefits and Affordable Care Act health insurance premiums and military paychecks. And so why not Head Start, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's brutal. We're going to see lots of working class, low income, frankly, just poor, even some middle class people. They're going to lose childcare for their kids. They're going to lose food benefits that they rely on. We're going to see people with disabilities and seniors and veterans and kids probably go hungry because the government shut down as it relates to SNAP. The Trump administration refuses to use emergency funding, even though that's what it's there for. Head Start, like that's going to decimate parents. Like parents, childcare is extraordinarily expensive. Head Start is there for the parents who can least afford it to pay for childcare. And without it, what are they going to do? Are they not going to work? Are they going to lose their jobs? Are their kids going to go without care? Are they like it creates impossible situations for families who already basically live, the lucky ones paycheck to paycheck. Some of these people don't even live paycheck to paycheck. And it's just really galling because, Republicans control the White House. They control the House. They control the Senate. And yet no one expects them to be reasonable. It's all about, when will the Democrats, cave and make sure that people don't go hungry and don't lose health, don't lose childcare. When will the Republicans actually try to fight and make sure people don't lose those things? It's such BS that the narrative is what it is.
It is. And again, it is testimony to, the right-wing media bubble. It is so much larger than, a lot of people want to give credit for. And then in the midst of all this, Kia, are just a wave of layoffs across corporate America. I know we've talked about it previously, but I mean, these are not numbers to sneeze at of people losing their jobs beyond the federal government.
No, it's a lot of It's a lot of layoffs. We have seen Target, we've seen Amazon, Microsoft, all sorts of GM this week announced a couple thousand layoffs across the Midwest. It's brutal. And, to some extent, you do tend to see more layoffs tick up towards the end of the year as these companies, want to juice their stock price and their earnings. But this feels a little different to me. It is tens, if not hundreds of thousands of layoffs happening within the span of a couple weeks in September and October. It's also a lot of white collar jobs, which is something you don't always see. And it's happening at the time that we're seeing car loan delinquencies go up, credit payments fall behind, all sorts of different economic indicators kind of flashing red. Meanwhile, you have the stock market continuing a really strange climb upwards on the back of like 6 or 7 stocks. And so it's very much, it feels like a bubble built largely on the back of AI. And meanwhile, everything else and everyone else is struggling. And if and when that bubble bursts, which I suspect it will, this is just going to be the beginning of layoffs possibly. And that's really scary.
And I would reference people back to yesterday's show in our 8 o'clock hour. We talked to Sean O'Malley, a Wall Street expert, all about the AI bubble. And he's a compliance expert on Wall Street. And if he's afraid of just how massive this bubble is, this is something everybody needs to be paying attention to. All right, we're heading into our history lesson next. So I'll leave you with some musical trivia. If I give the name Robert Van Winkle as having a birthday tomorrow, anything for Robert Van? Come on, you've got every one of his CDs.
Sounds like a made up name.
No, the made up name is Vanilla Ice because Robert Van Winkle wasn't good enough. So, Kia Vakil, thank you very much. Have a good weekend, and we will note Mr. Van Winkle, Mr. Ice's birthday after this. You're up north. We're starting our Friday history lesson with a little hootie, like the owl, for Halloween. Hoo. No, it's nothing like that. See, this is why we only let Pat play on Halloween every so often. Other times he just takes the day off. Atlantic Records signed Hootie and the Blowfish this day in 1993. The band's debut, Cracked Rear View, would become the best-selling album in Atlantic Records history. The track "There Only Want to Be With You" hit number 1 on the pop charts. "Let Her Cry" and "Time" and "Hold My Hand" were all top 5 hits for Hootie and the Blowfish, and then they practically went away. But that's the music business for you. Welcome to our history lesson for a Friday. Oh, Friday? Well, that means Greg Bach is here, boys and girls. Mr. Bach, good morning.
Yay! Hello, everybody.
And what are you dressed up as today?
As an accomplished adult.
Very good. Very nice.
If you check my Instagram feed, I am Greg Bach on Instagram. See what I did there? I plugged my Instagram. You will see pictures of a final, finished, completed garage cleanup.
Ooh.
That's a big project. Wow.
That was amazing.
Scary to get something like that done.
Yeah.
Good on you. That's all right.
And it's perfect timing because Trick or Treat in Kenosha is tonight from 4 to 7. So I can set myself up in the garage with some candy and a chair and allow the dozen of children to come through the neighborhood.
That's awesome. Wait a minute. I'm looking at this on Instagram now. This is the before picture?
The first picture is the before picture.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's a before and after.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's the after.
Pat was really worried about that first picture going, this is clean.
I was going to say, wait a minute.
Do you understand what clean looks like, Greg? Because this looks like you dropped a bomb inside of it.
If you could just get a bobcat, or some other kind of a bulldozer and just push some of that over and make some space, that would be great. Well, I like the idea of handing out candy while you're in your garage, making it kind of an outdoor thing.
Yeah.
Some of our neighbors sometimes will have like a little fire pit going or something. So,
ooh, that's cool. Yeah.
Make it nice and spooky.
Plus, kids knocking on the door and ringing the doorbell and coming up, not so good for my dog.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm gonna subtract her from the equation and just plant myself in the garage and hand the candy out.
I think that's just the way to go. All right. Also on today's history lesson, on this day in 1964, Baby Love by the Supremes goes to number 1, giving them their second chart topper after Where Did Our Love Go? making them the first Motown act with 2 #1 hits. On this day, oh my gosh, it's 50 years ago. 50 years ago today, Queen released Bohemian Rhapsody.
Real life, is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality.
Every so often, we play something during the history lesson, and I can hear a good chunk of the listenership go, "Stop! No, let the song play. Just go get some coffee or something." But we can't do sing along this morning with Bohemian Rhapsody, much as we all would like to, because ever since Wayne's World, the movie, you have to give it a very dramatic interpretation when you're singing along to Bohemian Rhapsody.
And that song and Queen seems to have like a decade comeback. Like it happened for Wayne's World, then a decade later, then the biopic came out. They always seem to be coming back into our lives, which I have no problem with.
Nope, none whatsoever. And I love the part of the movie where they play it for the record executive, and he's like, "What the heck is this? Nobody will listen to this." Exactly. And 50 years later, nobody knows his name, but we know the tune. On this day in 1941, Mount Rushmore was completed after 14 years of work. On this day in 1968, the Milwaukee Bucks won their first game after losing the first 5. They got their first win after beating Detroit this day in 1968. By the way, they beat Golden State last night, 120-110. Giannis sitting out with a sore left knee. All right, I think you've got this one already, Greg, but on the birthday list, if I tell you that this is, as I said to Kia Vakil a moment ago, Robert Van Winkle's birthday, you know who we're talking about, right?
Yeah, I do, baby.
Let's play a little of Mr. Van Winkle's greatest hit.
Speaking of Queen.
You better gain weight. You better hit bulls out. The kid don't play. If there was a problem,
I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it.
Yeah. Vanilla Ice is 58 years old today.
And got sued by Queen and David Bowie.
Yes, and rightly so. Dan Rather is 94 years old today. You can bring that music down just a little bit there. In fact, it's Vanilla Ice. You can
melt the ice a little. Would you melt the ice, Parker?
Be done with this.
Yeah, I'm done. Actor.
Wow.
Actor Brian Doyle Murray, Bill Murray's brother, is 80 years old.
Oh my goodness!
I don't think he gets enough due. I mean, he's played some great roles in Christmas Vacation and Caddyshack and Groundhog Day, and
his work with Second City and SNL. I mean, he has been. If you hear it, you might know the name, but you can't put it to a face, but you know the face.
As soon as you go the face and you hear the voice, and you go, "Yep, that's."
I'm Brian Doyle Murray.
Yep.
I'm professionally angry.
2 people born this day in 1950. I wish they both were still with us. Only one is. Jane Pauley turned 75 years old today, and I wish John Candy did as well. He was born this day in 1950. Gone way too soon in 1994 at the age of 43. Have you seen the John Candy documentary yet?
It was beautifully heartbreaking.
Oh,
I could spend hours, but I will not. That documentary was amazingly done.
That is on our watch list for this weekend.
And if I may put another great documentary just put out recently, made by the children of the subject, Mira and Stiller, Nothing Lost. It's the Ben Stiller, Ben and Amy Stiller documentary about their parents.
And I loved Stiller and Mira back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, they were great. And when their Nepo baby came up, I'm like, oh, he's not going to be any good. Turns out Ben Stiller's actually pretty good.
He's amazing, yeah.
And with parents like that. So yes, I'm glad you reminded me. Okay, it's a documentary weekend at the Brightwell household. All right, on this day in 1980, Bruce Springsteen got his first ever #1 album with The River, featuring this top 5 hit. I think we talked about this before. Old classic songs, and finally you kind of pay attention to the lyrics and go, oh gosh, I don't know if I still like the song as much. Give a listen.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
It's like when you listen to the lyrics to the Pina Colada song, you're like, oh, everyone in this song is a trash bag. They're terrible, all of them. None of them deserve happiness.
This guy's abandoning his family. We're just celebrating this.
I'm laughing.
Oh my goodness! But yeah,
I
that was
went out for a pack of cigarettes and I never came back.
1980 is when he had his #1 album, The River. On this day in 2011, if it felt a little more crowded around here, it's because the world population reached 7 billion. Then it would reach 8 billion by 2021. It's currently at 8.25 billion people.
Ugh, this feels like a
That's
lot
just
of
too many people.
Yep. Yes.
Meanwhile, Dr. Oz says America's underbabied. That's another topic for another time.
Oh,
I think you keep saving these topics because I'm going to need a guest host one of these days.
Podcast.
Yes. On this day in 2008, an anonymously submitted white paper called Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, was published, describing a decentralized peer-to-peer network that could track and verify transactions while producing a transparent, verifiable record. The money of the future or a Ponzi scheme? You be the judge. You know?
Yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Yep. Okay, here's a case of old song and its remake. Here's the old song from 1963. The #1 song was by Jerry and the Pacemakers.
You walk through a storm, hold your head up high.
Now, folks either know You'll Never Walk Alone from that version as fans of the Liverpool Soccer Club, because that is still their theme, or maybe they remember hearing Jerry Lewis sing it at the end of all of his Labor Day telethons. Whatever the case may be, it's a perfectly lovely song. But I gotta say, I still prefer the way the Dropkick Murphys gave it a little touch. They stepped up a zhuzh. They stepped up the tempo just a little bit.
Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and low.
Sing's still beautiful, but then
more bagpipe.
okay, we've heard more cowbell. This is the first time where you go, I need more bagpipe.
Yes.
I need more. I love that song. I love that version of it. On this day in 1969, the Beatles scored their 13th #1 album with Abbey Road. A few singles off there, like this one. By about this time, you thought the Beatles are going to be around forever. I mean, look at the stuff they're cranking out. It's all so different and imaginative. And little did they know they were coming near the end of the road on this one, the Abbey Road. See what I did there? On this day in 1992, the Roman Catholic Church apologized for its treatment of Galileo, the Italian astronomer.
Better late than never.
359 years late, acknowledging he'd been right about the Earth revolving around the sun. You know, the important thing is that you recognize that you were wrong.
Was it just, had they already acknowledged the Earth and Sun thing? Or was this the first time about the Earth and Sun, too?
No, this was just the apology.
Okay, just the apology for Galileo. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't have done all those terrible things to you. Oh, well. Also, in 1969, I mentioned that Abbey Road was the #1 album. The #1 single was by Elvis.
We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out.
Suspicious Minds came right after the 1968 comeback special. It was his 17th and final #1 song here in the country. There is today's history lesson for you. What, pray tell, Parker Olson, is on the National Day calendar, besides it being Halloween, of course?
Well, Pat, because it's Halloween, it's also, I believe, Frankenstein Friday.
Frankenstein Friday?
Frankenstein Friday. No word on if this is about the doctor or the monster.
I think you can't have one without the other.
This is
or
true.
it's my favorite comedy duo, Frankenstein. How
There
you
you
doing,
go.
everybody?
Hey! There's a hot dog. Here's a beer. Yes. All right. What else are we celebrating today?
It is also National Breadstick Day. I'm a big breadstick.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why on Halloween? I never understand these dates, the ones that some of them
You
pick.
asked Parker to do the National Day calendar. You didn't ask him to do deep research on the origin stories.
Clearly, I need to upgrade the assignment here. Why? Why? Why
right.
on Halloween are we doing breadsticks?
All right. Do you want one that makes sense today?
Yes. Yes.
It's caramel apple day. Is that better?
Thank you.
What, do you
Yes.
want, what do you want from me? It's caramel apple day. Yeah.
Right. Caramel apples, that thing that you get to enjoy from when it first takes out, one of your baby teeth,
Yeah.
till it takes out one of your adult teeth in your advanced age, and you go, that's it. No more caramel apples. We're done. It was a good ride while it lasted. Could you select this up for me, please? Better yet, could you mash it? Let's see. What else we got?
There's also knock knock joke day.
Halloween.
On Halloween, when we return, we'll tell you one.
After this.
You're listening to Civic Media. Find the latest news, information, and archives of all your favorite shows on the Civic Media website, civicmedia.us.
Welcome back to a spooky edition of Mornings with Pat Kreitlow, powered by Up North News.
Oh, that's it. Okay, here we are. Back on Halloween on this Friday morning, October 31st. Craig Bach is here, along with Parker Olson, as we were going through today's history lesson, the National Day calendar, some entertainment news to follow. Greg, when you're handing out the candy in the driveway, will you be gussied up in some way, shape, or form?
I'll be gussied up in a jacket, and that's it. Well, pants. I'll be wearing pants, too, but no costume.
I was going to say, my favorite social media post from yesterday said, all it takes to be Winnie the Pooh is a red T-shirt and a lot of courage.
No, I don't. Oh, I might wear my little Batman mask. I don't do. I'm not against Halloween. Like, I'm not like an anti-Halloween person, but it's, to me, takes a lot of thought. It can be expensive if you want to do a good costume. So I let the people who are really into it take it. Like, you do your thing.
I appreciate this take.
leave it to the masters. All right.
Yeah. Exactly.
We gave Parker a good 3-4 minutes here to come up with the best possible knock knock joke for National Knock Knock Joke
There
Day.
you go.
Yes.
What do you got?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Radio.
Radio who?
Radio not. Here I come.
Oh.
Okay.
It's a knock knock joke. It's not going to be good, guys.
Yeah. Look, there is only one really good knock knock joke, and it is the first time a kid learns the banana orange one.
Yeah.
And when they successfully tell it for the first time, and they laugh, they think it's just the greatest. And they go, "Orange, you glad I didn't say banana?" And they're like crying, and they're so happy and proud of themselves. I'm like, good for you. Never tell any more knock knock jokes. That's the peak right there of knock knock jokedom. Exactly. All right, let's do some entertainment news and other celebrity gossip, things like that. Shall we start with? I haven't seen CBS Mornings in the better part of forever, but apparently there might be a personnel change in the works.
There are reports that Gil King is going to be leaving CBS Mornings, just with the changes that are kind of going on at CBS in general. Yeah. Not great.
You know, I'd love to make a space joke right now, but like that story, I read the story about CBS, and it really guts me. It really just, much like CBS is being gutted right now.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And in Gayle King's case, again, you're Oprah's best friend. You know, why wouldn't you just be sitting on the veranda every day and, talking? And if you want to, put a microphone between you and have a little podcast. You're working way too hard. If you get to be best friends with Oprah, you don't have to work that hard. But
that sounds like a good deal.
It would be a good deal. I mean, just like if Greg were to become, a $1 billion lottery winner.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think I'd be working this hard on morning radio? No, I'd be hanging out by the pool with him, offering to, wash his car every so often, whatever it took to be in the shadow of your money.
For the love of friendship.
Yes, exactly. All right. What else you got?
Prince Andrew yesterday is being stripped of his royal titles by King Charles. Comes with the allegations of him being connected to Jeffrey Epstein.
Wait, you mean somebody can face consequences?
I know.
for their association with a monster sexual predator. I
Isn't that
cannot
crazy?
believe that. Wow.
And it's done by the man's brother too. Like we have politicians who are like, I can't. There are so many people. It's like you're not related. Like you can do this. You're not related to any of them. King Charles just like smacked his brother down.
Yeah. And apparently, rightly so. That's how it's supposed to work. Wow.
What's up?
Actual consequences.
Yeah.
We've got to try to import that in this country here. See if we can't work on that with that 218th vote in Congress to finally release things. Okay, so Prince Andrew will no longer be a prince. Now Prince Harry is still a prince, right? He's just not the other things, the Duke of this or that.
As far as I know, I frankly
Yeah.
I thought that this was about Prince Harry at first when I read it, and then I realized it wasn't.
No. No. Yeah, Harry and Meghan, they just get booed at Dodger games.
Yeah.
Whereas if you were to drop now soon to be not Prince Andrew into the middle of a crowded Dodger Stadium, I think they do more than boo.
He is now known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, which I did not know that Windsor was actually part of their family name.
Yes.
Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, ... still rich.
Yeah,
but he doesn't
rich,
get to live in the royal mansion anymore.
Still creepy, still probably needs to pay more of a price, but we got to start somewhere. All right, you got one more for us?
The runner-up of season 6 of The Bachelorette, Chris Lambton, obviously, you know that.
Oh, of course.
Yes. He is running to be a state representative in Massachusetts. He's running as a Democrat and says that reality TV really got him ready because it taught him how to do interviews and think on your feet. Yes.
Reality TV is the way toward public service and elected office. I mean, look at Sean Duffy. He's running NASA right now.
Yeah.
And the U.S. Department of Transportation. And his experience is some law school and some lumberjacking and dancing around in his underwear on reality TV. There you go. What else do you need? So if this Bachelorette guy wants to do it, in this day and age, I can't call him unqualified, even if he's remarkably unqualified.
I just am very not happy about that.
Well, we're just ending on a great note here.
I didn't think that was going to break you.
But I'm happy to be here, though. I'm always happy to be here every Friday with the both of you talking about all the fun stuff here on the Mornings with Pat Kreitlow. See what I did there? Get the Civic Media app, too, while you're at it. Boom.
Oh, whoa.
What you got on Matt and Air on Air today coming up at 9?
Today we got Dan Schaefer.
All right.
It's Dan Schaefer Day. We're recombobulating the news, friends.
Okay. Looking forward to that. 9 to 11 across the Civic Media Radio Network. Have a good weekend, Greg. Thank you.
You too as well. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
You bet.
Bye, Greg.
Still ahead, we're going to have our Week in Review panel here. It will be former U.S. Attorney Jim Santel, journalist Mark Jacob, and pinch hitting for Jennifer Schulze will be Chicago radio legend Joan Esposito. And then in our 8 o'clock hour, we'll talk to Dr. Kristen Lyerly. Let's see, we will have Emily Cephos in as well, a candidate for state senate. All that and more ahead across the Civic Media Radio Network. I'm Pat Kreitlow from Up North News. Back after this.
The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.